Tautumeitas, how are you doing?
Hi, we're good.
I want to dive right in and talk about your rehearsals because this is sort of the first thing that we've been seeing since Supernova, which now feels like a long, long time ago. But tell me, how have you been feeling now that you're on the stage in Basel? What have your impressions been so far of putting the performance together?
It feels incredible. It's like we finally are living the dream. We're finally here, and the first rehearsal was like, oh my god, we're finally on the big stage, like we're here at the venue, at the arena, and it was like very exciting. We fell in love immediately, and when we went to the room to watch the first performance, we were like, oh my god, so excited.
It looks so good.
We did an amazing job, and the second rehearsal was 2 days ago, right? On the 8th of May, and then it was like, okay, now it's time to work. Now we see like, okay, this we can change
better.
a bit. We can do better.
But those are just details.
Yeah,
we
those
are
are just
actually
details.
really happy about the
Yes.
result. It looks so good.
One thing that I found was always quite remarkable about you folks from the first time that we saw this performance was that it's just so visually compelling, and you know it's not always the case that when we see something in a national selection that it feels, as some people would say, Eurovision ready. But this one, from the very first time that we saw it, it just felt like it was ready to go. And I understand that there have been some developments and tweaks since Supernova, but I'm really curious about how you fleshed out this idea from the beginning. What were you aiming to do when you first thought, okay, how are we going to present Bur Man Laimi on stage?
First of all, thanks to our creative director, Arthur Analt. He's sitting just there.
Yes.
We'll get a shot of him later.
Yeah.
Still working, he says.
Second of all, we as a group have always been very visual and very creative in all our appearances and ways, costumes, video clips. It's because we sing only in Latvian, and we also sing these ancient folk lyrics that even in Latvia not always people understand at first, because there are dialects, there are old words, and we just want to show them more, to tell them more, to send this message better. And we are 6 girls on the stage, so we need outfits, we need to look good and
because everything times 6 looks like
impressive. Yeah. And it just came naturally that we tell our story with these amazing visuals, and then we just need very good professionals. And of course we all are also we have these the ideas always comes from us. In this particular Bur Man Laimi song, we were thinking about something mystical, so we created this water world. This is behind the curtains, this blue watery world, and we come out of it as some kind of mystical creatures, and then we bring this happiness from ancestors to this our human world. Yeah.
I love firstly the attention to detail, also just the concept of it, that you have this very clear idea and you're able to communicate it so well on stage. What I'd like to talk about now is adapting that for Basel, because we have seen, based on the short clip, we've seen that there are certain things that we didn't see in Supernova. The one thing that caught my mind is that there's this tableau idea going on where you're in these held positions, and I'm really curious about what was the idea behind that.
Oh, thank you. You're actually the first one to ask this question, so we will be happy to answer. So basically, this whole song is how we come from this water world, how we are born into this human world, but then we just continue to develop, and then there is this actually, in the beginning, it was like a lightning bulb coming up, but it can be like anything you imagine.
Use your imagination.
Yeah, use your imagination, exactly. This bubble coming up, and then this lightning kind of strikes us, and we
born into like a goddess, is like a figure, like a divas, we come from this underground world, then we are in this middle part, and then we
become sort of like goddesses, but not in like a very like diva way, but in the spiritual way. Yeah.
We definitely have our share of divas and different types of divas this year.
Exactly.
But I guess what you're talking about is that it's not so much about I'm a goddess because I'm in control and I'm amazing. It's that I'm bringing something, and what you're bringing, from my understanding of the song, is you're building a bridge of oak.
Of oak. Yes.
Okay, can you explain that, please?
Yes, so the others are making a bridge of steel, but we are making a bridge of oak. Oak is a very strong symbol in Latvian nation and folklore. And so the text goes that the bridge of steel goes to rust, but our bridge of oak grows evergreen. It's a very
there are so many
strong
dimensions.
symbols.
Yes, one symbol is just that nature always wins, and nature is love. We should be united with nature, not build
steel bridges over.
Yeah. But then again, there are also very many layers of symbols about wedding. That oak tree is bride's brothers, and they don't want to let her go, and many other symbols.
And also that we always choose to make things that are worthwhile, that will last, and we don't accept that people sometimes choose those who make bridges of steel, that they make something that is just for this moment and then it's gone and it maybe pollutes or makes worse for other people. So we make something that is for eternity.
It's really great to hear you explain the idea from your point of view and just the idea behind the song. There's also one point, because a lot of the lyrics are kind of repeated throughout the song, and I wanted to talk about in the bridge, because I'm trying to remember what my impression was, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's like I didn't know my own happiness until I knew my own unhappiness. Okay, can you explain that a bit more? I guess, like, what is knowing your own misery then?
It's more about we sing about bringing luck. At the same time, we don't want people to misunderstand it as no one can give you this luck. Only you can bring it to yourself. Only you can be really happy. It's inside you, and then these lyrics that you mentioned, they just show that most of the times you don't know that you are actually happy until those moments when you see what unhappiness is. So when something, for example, bad happens to you, then you are like, oh yeah, now it's bad. Oh, I was really happy back then, but back then you never knew that you were happy. So it's like inner concept. You just need to find the happiness and realize by being grateful, by being awareful of everything.
And the part which are repetitive, Bur Man Laimi, it's a chant, and it's a protection chant, and you can translate it as that you should protect your happiness, your inner strength, yourself from what is like flashy things all around. You protect it. What is your happiness for you?
Again, really fascinating to hear all this. I'm curious as well about the idea to bring this to an event, firstly for Supernova and then for Eurovision. What was the initial idea to choose this song specifically?
We were actually working last summer on our new album, which just came out, and this was just one of songs we created. And maybe we felt that it carries such a how do you say, like universal message.
Yeah.
Because it's not very specific about something in Latvia we do or some specific celebration, but it has this translation to all. I think anyone can connect to it, relate. Mm-hmm. So we just wrote the song, and there was a moment where we like, okay, this might be it.
We felt like the world just needs a big inspiration, big, I don't know, wave of positive energy, and that's what we always want to give to people in the concerts.
I also find that, as you mentioned, it's not like something that's uniquely Latvian, but you're definitely presenting it in a uniquely Latvian way. And I want to know, because I think often of a few years ago, neighboring country Lithuania, the song "Stay" by Monika Linkaitė had a melody that was a folk. Yes, exactly. And my understanding is that they had, after that song was successful, it kind of created this renewed interest in folk traditions in Lithuania. And I want to know, what's your sense of the general interest of Latvian folk amongst Latvian people? Do you think that, do you think it needs to be more recognized, or do you think that there's already lots of appreciation for it?
In the past 10 years, definitely more and more people have turned into folk music because it just feels in Latvia. There are those moments when people want to get married, or the child has born, the families are created. They are searching for something more than, I don't know, around them meets the eye. So they are turning.
Folklorists and reaching for rituals.
Rituals, exactly, yeah. But then again, when we won Supernova, we saw that we are not mainstream, we are not pop, and we are not the format, and we see that not everyone is ready for folk. Not everyone even understands it. Not everyone maybe think it's very Latvian, although we are, first of all, we are Latvians. We have been raised from our childhoods in folk music, and we bring really deep symbols out. But it's not very easy. But at the same time, it just continues to grow, and we can't compare where society was like 20 years ago and where it is now. So. Yeah.
Well, when we think about Eurovision as well, because it seems like in the 2020s there's been this renewed interest in the folk traditions of many different countries, and you could think of what we've been seeing from Ukraine. A lot of people mention Goe and the way that they're so in tuned with Ukrainian folklore. Even from France, the following year we saw Alvan and Ahez with a song from Brittany, and one of the rare times that we don't see where we saw a song from France that was not in French, it was in Breton. And so how do you feel about giving Latvia a turn on the global stage to say this is what's unique to us?
Oh, it's about time.
Yeah.
Also, the Latvian language that hasn't been in this contest for 20 years. It's about time, and we need to show who we Latvians are, how big treasure is our culture, and how little we are. Like, there's only 2 million people speaking Latvian language, and we have to celebrate our language, our uniqueness, our culture, and that's what we're doing.
And we also want to show for Latvians how appreciated Latvian culture and language is abroad. Yeah, because not everyone feels like the world will understand Latvians, but we think it's unique and it's a treasure. So
So thanks to all in the internet who puts their comments that they understand, they feel our vibe, because that helps also to Latvians understand that we are understood also in Latvian language singing.
And I think that what you're saying right now, we've seen that attitude kind of change in other countries when entries that have this really big national identity in their songs, they get appreciated in Eurovision. And what I'd like to ask you now, just as we kind of wrap up, is we're only a few days away from when the entire audience will be able to see this performance. And what are your hopes? What would be the best possible outcome for you, irrespective of the actual score? What are you hoping for most? I know it's a big question.
Well, of course we want to win Eurovision, of course. Of course, we want to get into finals, so we really ask everyone who likes this creative way and this message to vote for us. But yes, we are confident about what we are doing. We have really professional team, and we really hope for the best.
Yeah, and the win for us is that we will find the people who really understand our genre, who will lean to us after Eurovision, and we already feel this community coming together, and it's really sweet. And I think it's also a win for us and for every artist that they find their listeners.
As everyone does, it doesn't really matter. Like whatever happens in the contest, everybody finds their audience, and I especially love how in this case, we have something that is unmistakable. What you're bringing is something that everybody will notice and everybody will remember it. So thank you so much for bringing that to the stage. Best of luck to all of you, and hoping for the best.
Thank you so much.
Such a great interview.
Yeah.